Hi Green Thumbs, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a collective plant haul of all the plants that I purchased in the month of February. I'm going to go through the plants alphabetically, that way I can kind of keep track and make sure that I show you everything that I purchased this month. We will begin with my African violet. It's a variegated African violet. This is one of my most recent purchases. I've been kind of in love with them recently. I've been looking at them online, how to propagate them. So when I found this locally at the nursery, I was super excited. I think they're very pretty, very beautiful, and they seem to be easy to care for. I don't have any experience with African violets, so hopefully it goes well. It is in this really ugly container. So that's gotta come out. I'm gonna have to buy some new African violet soil so I can repot it into something more aesthetically pleasing for myself. So that's the first one. The next plant I purchased, if you watched my plant tour that I recently put up, I found this Asian violet. It's a cousin of the African violets. I do have it in a self-watering pot. Very pretty, just a little guy. Next we'll do anthuriums. The first one I got, I just unboxed this a few days ago. This is my Crystolium. She's a beauty. It's hard to pick up on camera, but the veins on this are extremely reflective and very bright and shiny. And then there's my Anthurium Morcanum. This plant, I'll insert pictures here. This plant looked pretty rough when I first got it. We had some issues with shipping. The stem had snapped. There was no heat pack in the packaging. So I cut off the leaf. That's what this part was here. And then I have a new shoot growing. So I am very excited. I think it's just a matter of a couple weeks until this new leaf comes out. And I'll be sure to share that with you guys when it does. And then on a whim, I bought this Anthurium from the grocery store. I bought this kind of more or less to experiment with. I am trying to get into anthuriums and I want to start collecting them and understanding them more. So this is a cheap, I don't want to call it a throwaway, but it's a plant that I can experiment on and with. And if I lose it, then I'm not out a substantial amount of money where I would be if I bought one of the more exotic ones. So I got this. Moving into the bees, I did pick up 3 begonias this month. I'm not historically a big begonia fan, however, these 3 really spoke to me. The first one is the Black Mamba. I love how dark the foliage is on this one, and I love the hot green in the middle. It's almost neon colored. The leaves are very waxy feeling, very stiff. I just thought it was a really neat plant, different than most begonias that I've seen around. I really enjoy watching Rachel and Casey over on my heart-shaped leaves, and she has some gorgeous begonias, and they're really pretty. She's very skilled at taking care of them. I'm not there yet, so I'm buying the cheap replaceable ones to experiment with before we get into the big guys. My second one, I'll have to write the name down at the bottom. I'll have to find it. I don't know it offhand. It is an angel wing begonia, and this one has little pink dots on it instead of the Immaculata. I found this one in one of the little terrarium sections. And then I got on the craze too, and I found Immaculata at Lows, I think is where I found this one at. And I've got a new leaf coming. Very pretty plant, very trendy, but I can't say much because I jumped on the bus too. But I really like it. It's really pretty. And so far it's really easy to care for. Next I have a Dissidia pectinoides. I found this at Lowe's. Very healthy looking. I'm undecided if I'm going to keep this or resell it. It wouldn't be a month in my house without purchasing a Hoya. So the Hoya that I found this month, ta-da! I got this at Lowe's for $10.98. Look it, guys. I posted about this on Instagram as well as my community feed, hoping to alert you guys and tell you that I found one and that you better get to Lowe's and check yours to see if you could find one. The one I ordered, I don't even think I unboxed that because the plant was pretty much dead when I ordered it. But this is in good looking shape. So I'm excited to finally, after like 2 years of searching, I'm excited to finally have one of these. I'll eventually repot it, probably come spring, but for now, I'm just gonna let it alone and let it hang in my west facing window up in my bedroom. That's probably for me, the buy of the year for 2020. Skipping to O's, I'm not usually a big fan of cacti and especially Opuntia because they are such an invasive species when planted outside. However, I found this variegated one for $5 on my most recent Home Depot tour. And so I snagged him. And as long as you're not putting it outside and you're keeping it in a pot away from your other plants and soils, you should be fine. So that's what we'll do. That's pretty though. The same day I found the Hindu rope, I also came across the Peperomia prostrata, or string of turtles. If any of you have any care tips for these, please let me know in the comment section. I have it in my west facing window right beside my variegated Hindu rope. I'm not sure if that's too much sun. If you remember my wish list boxing from the beginning of the month, you'll remember that I ordered a variegated Burle Marx. That root died. It just rotted and, you know, was worthless. So I ended up throwing that away. Out the $20, serves me right. And then this guy was the Florida Beauty that I got. It too actually started to suffer from root rot. So I've put it into just a jar of spag, hoping that I can recover it. Wish me luck on this one, guys. I really don't want to see this plant die. And then my last plant for February was one that my mom actually got for me and gave to me. She got me one of the trending tropical ZZ Ravens. Alright guys, that's all the plants I got in February. Let me know in the comments below, what did you buy? I'll talk to you soon. Bye.